Hi guys, and welcome back down to the Aquatic. We're here for another video today. Today we're going to be going over what our current plans are and what things we're thinking about for the future. Also just to recap what's happened in the last couple of days with the new fry grow out system. So you may or may not know that we reset the fry rack recently. So currently this will be where the first stage fry goes. So these are two trays that drip into this under volume. So basically this is to give more volume to the system. So how that will work will be there's obviously like 60 litres of water in this system. A lot of it's in these bottom trays. It gets pumped up using this little pump through this PVC which I manufactured, through these tubes into there. There's an air stone in here to keep this system aerated. And yeah, that's just how the first stage grow out. So this is when wrigglers, when they're big enough, they'll move from their parents' tanks into the fry grow out, these trays, and then approximately 2 to 3 weeks afterwards, they'll move from these trays into these lower sections here. So these are just nice like trays, I guess you would call them, like buckets that I got from the bargain store. There's an actual tank here, which is what eventually we'll go to, but we just need to just save a bit of money for now. They'll go into here with the sponge filters that are in there, and that'll be the second stage grow out, which will be for another 2 to 3 weeks. So by now they'll be 5 to 6 weeks old, and then after that they'll go into this grow out. So if I stop the air stone for a minute. I recently moved the Master Eye Fry into here, so hopefully we can get a glimpse of them in the camera. They're really small now. There we go, there's one at the back there. So this is a 210 litre tote, and this should be more than enough to keep the water nice and clean and help them to grow out nice and quickly. So that is the current plan for the grow out system. There is sponge filters coming for these guys, just waiting for them to arrive, and until then we'll be doing daily water changes on those systems to keep the water nice and clean. Not that we probably need to, because they'll be relatively nice and clean. So the Cacatoides fry are almost ready to be sold. So what's going to be happening is we're going to be taking them to a shop in the next couple of weeks, probably 2 weeks time I would imagine, and then we're going to be moving them on, and then this tank will become free. So then this tank will become free, and what we're thinking is this will then become the Abiaxis tank. And then this will be just the breeders on this rack. So all of the 20 gallon tanks will all be the breeders, and then the grow out will usually be happening on the rack. So in 2 days time we'll be upgrading this pump to a new pump. It's called a Fujimac 40. So it's a pump that pumps 40 litres a minute, and yeah, it should be more than enough to handle what's going on in the fish room at the moment. And it's a silent pump. It's a diaphragm pump rather than a piston pump. So obviously at the moment you can hear the pump. It's a piston pump. It pumps up and down with a piston, whereas this is going to be a diaphragm pump. So it will squeeze in and squeeze out, squeeze in and squeeze out, and that's how a diaphragm pump works. Very similar to how your diaphragm works in your body. So yeah, so we're going to be upgrading the pump, and then potentially speaking, we're going to be looking at what fish we can have a round of, so that we can optimise for breeding. So potentially some of we might keep a pair of Cacatoides, so that we then have 3 pairs of Cacatoides on the go. And then potentially once we get the McMaster Eye grow out, potentially we'll keep another one of those, so we'll have 3 pairs of McMaster Eye on the go. And then when we do eventually get the Agassiz and the Abiaxis and the black rams to breed, the same thing will happen there. So we'll at least have 2 pairs of everything on the go at one time, so that we've got a lot more fish moving through the fish room, in and out, to try and push the business forward. So that does mean we'll be looking for a new centerpiece fish for this tank. I don't want to go with a histogram because histogram seems to be the things that when I get pairs I want to separate them out. So we're going to be looking for something interesting, something fun, something new, something that we haven't kept before, to keep in this tank to be like a centerpiece fish for the fish room. So if you have any suggestions, leave them in the comments. Also, we're going to be trying homemade food in the future, just because the amount of food I'm currently feeding at the moment is becoming a bit expensive to feed fish food all the time. So I've seen a few recipes online and just things that I'm quite interested in, just doing a bit more homemade DIY stuff. So we'll be making some more of our homemade fish food soon. We'll have a fry version and like an adult version we'll feed to the fish, but that'll also just depend on how fine we grind it. So now that we've removed the breeding box, the racking system looks a bit more tidy. You don't have to sit here and look at the breeding box on the front of the tanks anymore, and you can see into all the tanks quite nicely. It's really nice for me to be able to see all of the Cacatoides fry at all times now. They're obviously getting very big now, which is great. This is the dominant male in the tank there. He's just small. There he is. And yeah, that's the current plan. So we'll be having some upgrades in the next few days. We'll be having some new fish hopefully soon. It's going to be another 2 weeks again now because the supply that I'm getting from their supplier has let them down again. Unfortunately, it's something that happens in fish keeping, especially when you're after some quite rare fish and something that you don't really see too often. And when you do see this guy and these girls in their full breeding colours, you're going to be amazed at what they look like, because I've seen them before personally in person when they're in breeding colours, and they are amazing. They have amazing purples and yellows throughout the bodies, and it's just absolutely unreal. So that's something to look forward to in the future. If you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comment section below. Make sure you like and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram at adam.aquatics, and I will see you next time.